Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, June 27th. I have not started quilting my pod yet. I still need to baste it, but at least I have everything I need now. I actually might run to Joann's and get some basting spray because I hate to be in the middle of basting and run out, and I've been using this can for 2 or 3 smaller quilts, so we'll see. I probably am okay, but I'd rather just have an extra can on hand, just in case. I did, however, get another quilt done for Linus. Behind me, it's right here. At the June Project Linus meeting, someone had brought in some remnants of fleece that had been cut, had pieces cut out of them, maybe for like appliques or something. And the remainder of the fleece was donated, and so I took a couple of pieces, a dark brown and a red, that I thought I had some stuff I could use it with. And so this is the brown. You can see, I did another quilt as you go, so you can see, maybe you can see, there's just horizontal stitching right here. This one was super easy. I mean, I put it together in like a couple of evenings after work last week. And at the last Project Linus meeting, I picked up all of this fabric except for these two. Oh, and these 2 yellows. So, but this one and the greens were like pre-cut, not pre-cut, but they were strips of fabric, leftover fabric that somebody had donated. And I took them just because, you know, owls, right? I had some of this on hand that someone had donated previously. So, since it had pink and yellow in it, I decided to use it also. And because I didn't really want to do the same size strip all the way, so I kind of cut them. My plan as such was, I spray basted this onto the fleece. This owl one here. This was already cut, this smaller strip, and this was already cut. So I decided if I go smaller here and larger here, then the next set of fabrics I would do the opposite. So I did wider here and slightly narrower here. This is the only strip of this I have. There's a tiny bit left over. And I would just keep reversing that. So it would be thinner, wider, thinner, wider, thinner, wider, going this way like this. And there you have it. So this, when I got up to here, this is all I could fit before I got to the area where it was kind of jagged and had been cut. So my biggest concern really with this quilt is the fleece. It is a super thin, it's very soft, but it's a super thin fleece. And it probably would have been better to use as a batting as opposed to a backing. So I'm really not sure. I mean, it held up fine. I didn't get any holes in it or anything when I was sewing, but I think the truth will be in the wash, basically. If it holds together when it's washed, then I won't have any problem donating it. So yeah, it's good to go. I had this pink fabric. I don't know what it's from. I have a ton of it. I probably have like 4 yards of that fabric. I have no idea what it's for. I think I might have bought it intending, when I first started learning how to sew, I was doing apparel sewing, and I think I had intended to maybe make something for Phoebe out of it when she was little. She was like 3 when I first started, 2 or 3 when I started taking sewing classes. So, yeah, I don't know, but I had a crap ton of it. So I cut that. I was going to use, I had already cut strips of this to use for binding, and I decided I didn't want to use any of the fabrics that were actually in the quilt top for binding. Just because I didn't have enough to do a scrappy binding that had a little bit of everything. So I was like, I really felt like this quilt needed either a tonal or a solid for the binding to make it go with the back. So it's just got the pink and brown here, and then there's pinks and all kinds of stuff there. So anyway, that's done. It needs to be washed. It's labeled already. So that'll be 2, which means that's blankets number 6 and 7, which means when I go to the July meeting, I will be all caught up. I don't know if I'm going to have time to baste the Project of Doom this week or not. Work is going to be insane, and Fluffy's got a doctor appointment, and I have crazy deadlines this week, so I'm not going to sweat it. I'm giving myself to the end of July to get it done, and I have some vacation days coming also, in addition to the 4-day weekend. So I actually get a 4-day weekend this weekend, which is pretty exciting. However, leading up to that is insanity. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got going on this week. It's enough. I will see you guys next week. Probably on Tuesday, because I do have the day off. So even if you don't get a chance to watch it till later, if you are in the U.S., I hope you get some time to spend with your family and or friends and loved ones over the Independence Day holiday. And I will see you next week. Bye!